In case you receive our newsletters, it's very simple. You just click on one of those buttons and, with the radio icon, and you will be connected right away. Today we have a very special guest in the studio. Very beautiful lady. Goes by the name Dr. Marieke Hartman. And she will be our guest. And so I'm going to pass on the microphone to Apostle Hilary Dokino, the director of Radio Niger, to take us further.
Well, thank you so much, Apostle Larry. Well, our fans, this is the time we've been waiting for. Remember, we are transmitting on 105.2 MHz ETA and 103.8 kV on your popular radio program, Radio Voice of Naija. And in this topic today, the family unit and healthy living is coming to focus. So we'll be dealing with how to support the family unit for a healthy lifestyle. So in this show, we'll be surveying the scope and impact of this project. It's a new project that is focused on the family unit having a healthy lifestyle. So for our guest today, she is somebody we've come to love because she is so likable. I hope those of you who are out there, you are watching and you can see how calm and ready to go. She's not a person but our own Dr. Marieke Hartman, who is an expert in healthy lifestyle promotion among multicultural communities here in the Netherlands and beyond. So she works for the AMC, that's the academic hospital, on the family project, which aims to promote healthy lifestyle and well-being among families with their children. Children are not left behind though. So feel free to give us a call as you listen to this broadcast on 0233 74160. I repeat, 02737 1619. I was mentioning the studio line of Majesty TV. So give us a call. She is on the radio on 02737 1619. So Dr. Marieke Hartman, welcome to Radio Voice of Naija.
Thank you so much.
We are glad that you are here and you took up this appointment.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation. Thank you very much.
So now we are about to start, and I give this first question to Apostle Larry.
Well, thank you. What is the family project, and when did it start? And what are its goals and objectives?
Okay. The Family Project is a project here in Amsterdam Southeast, particularly in the Belmar Centrum and Belmar East, for families with young children between 2 and 10 years old, particularly families with a West African or Creole Surinamese background, to promote their health and also well-being, so how you feel. When did it start?
Yeah.
It started already in September 2015.
Okay, it's a recent initiative.
Yeah, it's a recent initiative, and actually it's still in development. So we started with asking parents, but also people that are already working for radio stations, pastors, community leaders, what are the needs and wishes in the community. Yeah. We have already a general idea what the wishes and needs are, so now we have a first plan, like what we are going to do, but how we're going to do it is still in development, because we developed it not by ourselves, but it's in collaboration with the parents themselves and also community leaders. Yeah. And if it's needed, we can consult other professionals, and so it's a very collaborative project.
Yeah. I'm curious, what led to the initiating of this project?
Yeah, what led to the start of this project? Now, Charles was here, I think, a couple of weeks ago, Dr. Charles Zangerman, and he might already have told like that there are ethnic inequalities in health. We see from the Helios study that there are inequalities, for example, in later life, in strokes, other cardiovascular diseases, heart attacks, high blood pressure. But we don't only saw that in the numbers, but we also really heard that from the community itself. Like people saw young adults, like in their mid-age, passing away way too early in life.
Yes.
So they started to get worried, and they really start to get feeling like we have to do something about this. So then we started to track like what are then the causes of these diseases later in life. And then we saw that overweight and obesity are one of the causes, and related to that also the nutrition, so what people eat and how many people do physical exercise, for example also sleeping, how long and do you sleep at regular times, that those are risk factors for those diseases later in life. Now then we started to look even deeper in that, and then we saw that already during childhood, differences in overweight and obesity develop. So if you look at a graphic, you see already between 3 and 5 years old, you see already that the West African and Creole Surinamese children, for example, have slightly more overweight than ethnic Dutch children. And if you track that to adult life, it only gets bigger. So sometimes you may see children that have overweight, but they are children, so they are a bit chubby, and then later in life they grow and they may lose their chubbiness. But usually what we see in the numbers is that more frequently overweight only increases over time and really tracks into adulthood. So that's why we started the project, to start to give children really fair start, like a good start early in life, so that later in life we can prevent diseases like stroke and cardiovascular disease.
Awesome, this is very, very interesting, Dr. Marieke, because in Africa, when we see kids that are very, we call them plumpy or chubby, you call it, so it's like, they are very healthy, you know, and then you, the parent, you love it that they are that way because they look very portable and very plumpy. But now, we've come to hear from you doctors that that's part of unhealthy lifestyle. You know? Sorry? That's part of unhealthy living.
Yeah.
It is not very healthy for children to be plumpy.
No, because before, like, maybe it was healthier to be chubby because you had more reserves when you got sick or etc. But the chances to get sick and the hygiene is so much more improved. Like in the Netherlands, it's really, I think, hygiene can be really good and healthcare is really good, and so the need to be chubby is not that big anymore. And actually now we start to see the negative consequences on overweight and obesity because we can get older now, but only if we take good care of our bodies. And,
but I think
it's not necessary anymore to have that.
I do agree to some extent, but if you look at, let's take for example African women. If you compare African women to, let's say, Caucasian women, there is a way they look, their physique is quite different. And I think it's a genetic thing.
It's true.
African women tend to be more
roundish.
Yeah, you know, they have a lot of
contours.
Contours, yes, that's the right word. I mean, it's really part of them. You do see occasionally some Caucasian people like that, but by and large, it is something that is within, I mean, the African gene. You get the picture?
Yeah.
So I hope that is not really being taken as an indication of overweight or whatever. But with most African women, they do have that as a part of them. You can't change that. You see a little girl, very skinny, tiny, but once she gets into puberty and all that, she begins to develop, and it just looks different.
Definitely, and I mean, Yeah, no, definitely. And I can understand it's hard because someone definitely doesn't have to look fat.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, can look beautiful.
Yeah.
But still, then still a doctor may say you are overweight.
Yeah.
And they purely say that not because they think you look fat.
No.
They purely say that because they know that has a risk on these diseases. So, I hope you also know some ladies that has still their shapes, but are maybe less, very less fat, and are at lower risk. So.
The problem here
is what is going on in your body, not only what you see from the outside, but what is going on in your body.
No, but also the physique has a lot to do with what is going on inside, because you cannot just be excessively fat and then it's not affecting your inside. Haven't you seen that when people are overweight, they can't even walk a long distance? So fat women not even can walk a long distance. They can, sometimes they want to bend down, they can't bend down. I mean, those are the things. So are they enjoying it that you want to bend, you can't bend, you want to walk, you want to run? Have you ever seen them running? They can't run. So, these things are all unhealthy. So it's time that it's true that for me, when I was doing a bit studying in sociology, I saw that the Asians, they have different, the physique is different, the Caucasians are different, the Africans are different, we have the contours. But now, it's not only just having those contours, it has to be trained. You have to be trendy. That's the distance now, because carrying all of these things excessively, it's not helping anybody. It's just jeopardizing. If you look at the death rate, it's very high among the Africans more than the Caucasians. So their lifespan is longer than the Africans, isn't it? So we now need to, we thank God that because of technology, we are coming to times to know, okay, why are these people living longer? What is the rationale behind it? Though I'm not saying that most of some Africans, like my father, he stayed for a long time.
And my uncle is still alive. So
yeah.
He's like in the 90s.
Yeah, almost 100.
Yeah,
yes, the uncle is almost 100. So there are some of them, but the ratio for seeing a black who goes or who stays longer than that is not always very easy. But among the whites, you can see many of them who are old and they are still bouncing.
Yeah, and maybe it's also important to mention it's not only about the body shape, but like we said, it's also what's going on in the body.
Yeah.
So sometimes people may not have, the genes to show a lot of overweight, but at the same time, if you eat unhealthy, it affects what's going on in your body anyway.
Yeah.
So for everyone, it's important also for the children to give a healthy start. So healthy eating and physical exercise is also important for the ones.
Well, before we get into all of those with Dr. Hartman, let's take it step by step. Well, this is just a project starting. We don't know nothing. So for the record, I let it be clear that it's a project or a study to get into help by way of supporting families. Especially now you define clearly people of African Creole origin living in Southeast who is to give them it's a study to help families towards a healthy lifestyle. Okay, so if you are listening to this program, you are welcome to give us your take, your comments or questions.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing conclusive yet about this.
No, there's not, but I may have to say we know a lot now because of other studies.
Yeah.
The only thing we are now going to do is really get into action.
Action, okay.
So we know already a lot about the causes, about the risks, about how families have an influence on their children, and why that is so important. We already know a lot, But now we have to get into action to really try to turn that growth of inequalities in health.
Yeah.
So try to turn it that that all the children have comparable
prospect of
risk.
a good, healthy lifestyle going forward.
Yeah.
Okay, now tell us how you intend to implement this. How is it actually going to be brought on?
Yes.
Yeah. Now we are supported by Fonds.Ora
Yeah.
to give attention to this topic through the media, so the TV, the radio, but also at locations that parents already come.
Yeah.
So that can be a mother and child group, that can be a neighbor
Group.
gathering, or in the churches, in the buurthuizen, but also at schools.
Yeah.
But particularly in the community,
Yeah.
because at schools there's already a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
So do some extra in the community.
Yeah.
And start the discussion there on these topics, and also on the topics like what maybe we want to change, but also what do we like to keep, because it's part of us. Like what you say, like it's good to keep your shapes, but in a healthy way. So what is then a healthy way, and how can we do that?
Yeah.
Now, just to open that discussion.
So what you're saying is that you are doing it by featuring discussions within a community
Yeah.
through the various channels.
Yeah, but how that will be done, how the discussion is open, by who, what is the content exactly, that's still in development, because parents and community leaders give a lot of input on that, and actually they are making the actual plan.
But how is this going to be different from the ongoing series of information sessions, TV programs, radio programs, and other awareness activities that are going on? How is what you're doing going to be different?
How this is going to be different is because now we are collaborating with a lot of parties at the same time.
Yeah.
So to really try to get one consistent message, because sometimes people hear this over there and another message over there, and then this is unhealthy, and then orange juice is healthy, and then orange juice is unhealthy, and etc. So we really try to get consensus with each other, like what is healthy, what is not healthy, what is important within the family, how can you best approach this with those different parties in the neighborhood, so that we don't have to be confused anymore about what is healthy or what is not. So I think that's particularly a big power in this project, and also that we try to listen a lot to the voice of the parents itself. What do they need, what do they like, because it shouldn't be too, it also can be fun to live healthy, but you have to experience that sometimes, or you have to see an example of other women already doing it in a healthy way, and we really try to do it together.
Okay, well, it sounds nice, but still, it's not, I'm not getting a sense of how concrete, how solid,
it's a pilot.
how that, exactly.
Yes,
My point is that I already a lot of this is going on, and she says that, she confirms that.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you just going to be like a supervisory, or let's say monitoring or coordinating?
Yeah, or overall, you mean?
Yeah, in this whole thing, because like I said, there are a lot of information coming from different angles, and a lot of things going on. Everybody's health conscious right now, which is okay.
They want to be able to control. He said they are going to moderate what goes out. Like she gave an example about this orange juice. Some will come and say orange juice is not good, you eat this, you eat that. But their organization, I think, will want to have a common perspective, something that will be globally implemented. That which we can hear, and then it's okay, this is from the source. This source told us this is what we have to eat. So it's like you go around controlling what the dietitians are saying, the nutritionists. Is that what?
Yeah, the dietitian, for because our role is indeed what you mentioned, more a coordinating role, we try to get the different experts at the table. So you may be experts of what's going on in the community. There's dietitians that have really the expertise about the food.
Yeah.
We have more expertise on what, how can I explain, what is needed to change your behavior, because that's not important to not easy to change your lifestyle.
Okay.
So sometimes you have the feeling, yeah, but now I know, so I'm gonna do it, and then you try it, and it's a little harder than you expected.
Yeah.
So I have more expertise on what is needed to make that change.
Okay.
And what we also do, so we put the experts at the table, and the parents are one of the most important, I think, expert, because they are knowing what's going on in their households and in their family life. And what we do is indeed monitoring over time whether there's any change within the community, whether it's going better. And because right now Amsterdam Southeast is doing the worst compared to the rest of Amsterdam.
Yeah, it's true.
And I don't think that we want it that way.
No.
So we are about to try to really change it.
Yeah, but when parents have gotten all of the tactics and whatever you have to put out there, and they are not still being given the right things that can help them affect poverty, they will still get all of this stuff and go back and eat unhealthy food. So I think we have to, the organization and others who are involved in this, must look for a way to enable the average family to have sustenance or support, financial support.
No, I think I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
You're talking about income level.
Because poverty is a major thing in this.
Remember that Jesus even said the poor will always be there. So I mean, it's not really workable.
The fact is
that what you're saying is not workable. I mean, jobs and income are related to a lot of factors. People's ability, well, education is one, type of job is one, a whole lot of things. So that's not a simple thing to do. You can only inspire people to get a good job, get a good income. Yes, but beyond that, the government cannot go about giving money to everybody to say, okay, we want you to have a healthy lifestyle, so have more money, have more money. Actually, it has to do with personal choices. Even with the most meager of income, you still can make healthy choices. I think that is where that's where the emphasis should be.
Yeah, and we definitely acknowledge this is harder to do it with less income.
Yeah.
There are also examples of families that can do it in a very creative way and still deal with it, but it is harder. So that's why our project has a second phase. So in the first phase it's more opening the discussion. What do we think about this? Do we want to change at all, or don't we? And the second part is more on like, how can I manage this? How can I ensure that I have enough money to live healthy? How can I ensure that I have time to live healthy? But also, how can I deal with my child that maybe wants to adapt the lifestyles of the more their Dutch peers, their friends, the Dutch friends. Well, I believe that my African lifestyle is much healthier, much better, and how can I deal with that? Like, sometimes it raises conflicts. Students that want to go exercise, you think that's super expensive. You need to learn. You need to go to school. That costs time. But that, how can we balance it? Yeah, how can we balance that? So there's definitely also attention for that in the program, and to in a we hope very creative way. So that people indeed learn to live healthy, but in an affordable way, and also knows the ways within the Dutch society, because there are a lot of facilities available that can support. But yeah.
Okay, give us an overview of the project. I mean, you said you are now in the phase of getting to know. No, give us the different phases that you have set up. Can you please outline that?
Yeah. So from September till the end of January, we had these discussions with mothers and other fathers also, but there were more mothers, community leaders, but also health professionals about what are exactly the needs. So the needs and wishes. And then we started also to brainstorm a first broad example, a food cooking battle or another food catwalk or something that is fun but also shows that healthy eating can be tasty, but also affordable. And that we wanted to do something as a course or workshops on the time management and how can I get some more money to also live healthy and so that was the first stage. And now we are in a stage of really developing the actual content, what will be the discussion about, what will be in the media, what will be at the locations itself, how will the food battle, for example, look like. So that's now in this stage. That's until, and the actual program starts in, I think early December, late November, early December. So then the actual program starts in the action, and then you will hear much more from the family projects.
But that's what I'm trying to find out. What exactly are we going to, shall we expect to hear? You will give us, I want an overview, total overview of the project as it's going from beginning to end. So we who are in the community know when, what to expect and when, you know.
They will give it to us.
Tell us what it is.
When they finish drafting out whatever they have, they will pass them to the necessary quarters. The media will get theirs, the community leaders will get theirs, and those who are the dietitians as well. Then they will have
you know the program already.
That's what she just said.
Because then it starts through the media and at location. That's and then that will be repeated. The project in total will be 3 years. So it will be repeated 3 times in the media and at location, and also in the second year we have more attentions for those workshops and a course on more management and how am I going to do this, but in a very creative way.
But it sounds to me, Dr. Hartman, like this project is similar to things that are already going on, because some people are doing some creative things in terms of how to make healthy lifestyle more fun, So I'm wondering what is different about your project.
The difference with this is that the whole family are coming to focus, because what we've been dealing with are individuals like a man who is overweight or a woman who is overweight. But now the entire family, that means what the family do, how it can impact each other, what the father is doing or a mother is doing.
No, that is clear.
So that's what makes their project totally different. It is a whole package for a whole family, not individuals.
Well, yes, and I can add maybe to that, so this is much more focused on the family indeed, not on the children only, because schools or other programs are much more focused on the children, and the parents are like, but hello. I'm here having most influence on my child, so maybe start a discussion with me. And then, but I think it's still important both sides, that the children learn, but also the parents. But, and I think you're really right. We did also, we made a kind of map, like what is already going on in the neighborhood. And there are a lot of great initiatives, like exercise groups, cooking workshops. There is like a lot, and that's great. But it would be even better if even more people enjoy those kind of activities. And we think to enable people to do that, first maybe a little bit of the mindset, like, is it important for me? I'm surviving here, or why should I go to such a workshop? To change that mindset a little, like, oh no, maybe I can go there, and maybe I do like to go there for my child, and so to change the mindset, and then also to enable them to participate. So it's not like adding extra activities or workshops or purely focused on healthy lifestyles, because we know they are there, and we will definitely try to bring people in contact with those activities. But what we do is more like also because there are people that don't join maybe because they think like, if I go there, we spoke about it before we started the conversation on the radio, but if it's something from you of healthcare, you may think like, I've talked to them before, and they totally don't speak my language, they don't understand my situation, for example. But then this is really to bridge that, so that the providers know like what's going on in the community, but also the other way around, that the community starts to get maybe some more feeling why it's important or why they may want to change or why not. So it's really to open the whole community, particularly families with young children, but also the whole community, also so that they can support each other.
Yes, so it's to create more awareness on healthy lifestyle, which is
family level.
At the family level.
That is clear. Okay, listeners, if you following us, you would like to interject with a question, please feel free to do that anyway. The studio line is 0207371619.
Yeah, let me ask this question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what's the criteria you are using to select participating households?
The criteria. In the beginning, like at the locations and in the media, we try to open the discussion with everyone, but particularly with parents, West African and Creole Surinamese, African Surinamese parents with children between 2 and 10 years old. And at later ages and earlier ages is also important. For example, the first 1,000 days, there may be researchers from the VU already talking about how important it is to give your children an early
start. And then that gives a clue that something is going on there. What about the families where some of the kids are not speaking up?
Yeah.
So how are they being assisted in your project? Because I want to know who are the people who are eligible to participate. How do you select the people? Is it you are selecting single mothers, or you are selecting single fathers, or you are selecting, or maybe you look into a family and you say, okay, you have 2 kids or 3 kids, and then they are of this age. Okay, they are qualified to participate in this project. You have no income. How do you do that?
No, it's for parents in general. Parents that live in Belmer Centrum and Belmer East, and that's like zip code 1101 and until 1105. Those parents that have children between 2 and 10, and they can have even younger children or older children, but also children between 2 and 10 years old, they are eligible.
Okay.
And I think it's most worthwhile, maybe even if you have a lower income, because then you can get extra tips and advice like how to handle the situation and make it a little easier for yourself. So for them it may be extra interesting, but it's for parents.
So how do you go about recruiting them? How do you sign them up, or how do you interface with them in running the project? Do you visit them at home, or how do you get their name from the city council?
No.
How do you get in contact with those parents?
No, currently the plan is, but everything is still development. But currently the plan is to really go to places where parents already come, so that it doesn't have to be something extra. Everyone is busy enough, so really try to go to. It can be mother groups, it can be the church, het buurthuis. The food bank, different locations where parents already come. So, and then...
do you put flyers there? That's what he's trying to...
No.
What do you do? You give information in those locations?
No, that's still... I cannot say too much about that yet, because it can change, so that I don't want people like me. But it's as much as possible, it's all in person. So no written information or flyers or anything, because that's really what I've been asked for.
Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say I'm organizing a family a session for mothers and children next week. You don't know about it, so how would you be there? Because how do you participate when you don't know about it?
It's still a snowball, but we are collaborating with a lot of organizations already, and parents are involved, but Still not all, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a snowball, and we get more and more contacts, and more people also communicating like, oh, this is going on, you should go there, you should. So that's how it works, really through a snowball.
So how many groups, how many families are already connected with you?
Now,
in the project?
currently, we have spoken during the interviews and during community meetings, I think around now 50 parents.
Okay.
What is of course only a small percentage of, but those 50 parents, let's say, may all know 6 other parents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
that's how it works. And so in that kind of way we try to get as broad reach as possible. And particularly also the community leaders, they are also in contact with a lot of families in the churches. They know a lot.
So what's the maximum number of families you want to reach?
Now we have set a goal of, particularly with, through the media and at the locations, to reach at least 50% of the families. And we hope, of course, always to reach everyone, but we know that may be impossible, but 50% of the families with young children. And with the courses and workshops, that will be a smaller amount, because there's only limited what you can do in a year, how many groups you can handle. So that will be a smaller amount, but at least I think we said 150 parents.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Wow.
Good.
Awesome.
Shall we take a little break?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then we would continue.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are
awesome.
doing a family discussion about the family unit and healthy living as a special project that's been ongoing. Started last year, and the whole idea is to help to influence families that are growing up, so that the risk of obesity and its attendant problems will be minimized. And so the health authorities have found it very necessary to initiate this project, so you have to be aware, and let's see how we can collaborate or participate and support the whole initiative. So our guest this morning is Dr. Marieke Hartman.
Yeah.
She's a woman though, Hartman, but she's a woman.
I got that name from my dad, huh?
Well, he was the one, of course. He still is at it. Anyway, so we'll take a short break. Give us a call on 020-737-1619.
Yes. Yeah. You take a one more tea?
Maybe some water?
Water, yeah.
Just
Yes.
cold water.
Wow.
I recognize the questions that you
But because it's coming out very good. You are coming out very good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope so.
Yeah. You're very confident.
From the outside, maybe.
Come again?
From the outside, maybe.
Is there a tissue for me?
Yeah, I have.
Just feel the.
Yeah, I have.
Well, I have to be a bit probing because I need to bring out clearly the concept of the whole project. I need to understand for myself.
But it's good because I
If
get these questions a lot, so but it's still hard for me sometimes to give a clear reply.
Yeah.
Sometimes it may sound a bit fake.
Yeah, exactly. I noticed that.
But is that important?
But all right. It's a part of the training for the media.
Sorry?
It's a part of the training for the media.
Yeah.
He grilled you.
But it's good, it's great. These are questions we get a lot, of course. And a little less when we talk with the municipality, because they are more thinking at the theoretical level, and we also, and it's a bit easier and just say like, yeah, we are focusing on that and there. But sometimes it's hard to tell it just at a day-to-day life level, like what does this mean for the community?
Yeah. Azonto for Jesus. You know, the Azonto thing has like a wildfire everywhere. Everybody's doing that Azonto dance. And today we are just treating you to special Azonto music, gospel of course. And so we hope you're enjoying it. And we're hoping you will give us a call and talk to Dr. Marieke Hartman. She's a woman, by the way, but she's Hartman.
Well, you're listening. I think you like the name. Dr. Marieke.
I'm so impressed how well you pronounce my name, to be honest. I'm so impressed by how well you pronounce my name. Really. I've been in the US for 2.5 years. They're really difficulties pronouncing my name.
Really?
Particularly my first name. It's going really well.
Benla.
We have to go back
Yeah.
please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Azonto, for that beautiful one. Well, let's return back to the discussion. Welcome back, Dr. Hartman. We're talking about the family unit and healthy lifestyle. That is the buzzword for now. It's all over the place. A healthy lifestyle. You got to do something about it. So if you're there, you cannot say you don't care or you're not interested. You are. You've got to be interested. Okay. So Dr. Hartman, please. I want to know, for example, I know you're dealing on a family at a family level. Can you explain how you actually interface with the children? Do you have any direct influence or connection with the children? Or you always have to go through the parents? Because I just need to know whether the children benefit indirectly as a result of you approaching the family unit, or you have special things that you do with the children or for the children. Do you understand my question?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Now, this project is particularly for that indirect influence through the parents.
Okay.
Because only healthy parents
Yeah.
can raise healthy children.
It's true.
And we do that because there are already a lot of projects going on for children in specific,
Yeah.
so they will really not be forgotten. It's at the schools, for example, there's Jump In, there's Left, there are different programs for children,
Yeah.
and they also involve the parents, but we do a little extra for the parents because they set the example for the children. They, of course, try to pass forward their beliefs about what is healthy, what is good to their children. And also they set the rules. They reward their children if they about what they think is healthy eating, what they think is healthy exercise. They are the ones supporting them, and also they are the ones giving access. They are the ones doing the groceries, doing the doing the cooking.
Yes, they decide.
So
Yes.
they decide what's
Yes.
at the table.
Yeah.
Also,
The women especially.
the women especially. Yeah, it can differ between households, but usually it's the women. So it's important that they are involved, and also, yeah, they are the ones. It's not only about food, of course. They are also involved with providing access to, for example, sports or other types of exercise, whether it's in a park or at a sports club. They are really involved with that also.
I think women really must be involved in this, because if it is that they have a lot of influence over their family.
Too much.
So that means if a family is not having a healthy lifestyle,
Women are too powerful.
then the women are the cause. Yeah, they are probably 60% the cause, because it's what they put on the table that the whole family eat.
Yeah.
So that, I think it's very important for every woman that is listening to us now to pay attention and to know that their role as a mother
affair
is
very critical.
Very big. And you may think like, no, it's much more important to work hard so that I can take care of my children.
Yeah.
But that is also important, of course, but really don't forget that everything that you do in your own lifestyle, in your own eating habits, is passed forward to your children.
It's true.
So give also some time and attention to that. So.
And some of them that are very lazy and they cannot exercise and they don't like to go out and walk around, they pass the same attitude to their children as well.
Yeah.
So little wonder you see a bulky woman having bulky kids.
Yeah, or you might, if you really have been born in Nigeria or Ghana, it can be that it wasn't common at all to do those exercise or sports, so why would you let your child do it? It may be that you're like, why? So, but this is a new environment, an environment that there's very well a good public transport, an environment that children are in school all day, etc., or in the house, much more in the house than be in the house. So yeah, we have to adapt some new lifestyle sometimes to keep yourself healthy.
It's true. It's true. I support this project.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Are you happy with results so far?
Yeah, I'm really happy with all the commitment of the different organizations and the parents already. I see there's really a will and already a lot of strength within the community to start getting into action and to turn this problem into like
reality.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
exactly.
but also to really strive for healthier and better well-being for the family.
Let's take this call.
I'm really happy with it.
Hello, good morning. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes.
But the children that are involved here are children of 2 to 10 years. So why are they not on board? No, their parents now, because these kids don't have their own free decisions to make. Their parents are influencing their decisions. So I think their parents have to be properly approached, and then the parents can release their kids.
Can bring their kids. Yeah, it maybe depends on the times that things are organized. I don't know. When it's too late, children may not be able to join.
Can you give an example of which, yeah, possibly. Which program, for example, is it that, for example, children have been invited or have been involved but they didn't get involved? Oh, okay.
Yes, if they are beginning to do pickpocket and picking pocket and taking Snoopy in the shops.
Maybe they didn't feel like the target group. No, but those may have been adolescents or not. More like teenagers that you wanted to reach. Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Yeah, but is there still something you want to say about that point you just made?
Yeah. Is there something else? No, yeah, more like for adolescents and teenagers, there are usually also separate organizations or also at schools that activities can be done.
Yeah.
Because also for them it is important to go to the places where they already are.
Yeah.
Same with the parents.
Yeah.
Like if they do have an extra action, so an extra effort to get there to such a meeting. It's always hard to reach people if it's not already something that they are like, oh, super interested in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be my recommendation. And for the younger children, I would expect like that parents would bring them. Yeah. So then parents are important. Party.
Well, all too soon, time.
Yeah.
So you want to give a closing word or something?
Yeah. What do you have to say to those who have listened to this broadcast now?
Now, I particularly want to say that if there are any other community organization here in Amsterdam Southeast working with the West African or African Surinamese community, please feel welcome to join, and also parents themselves, if you want to have a voice in what we're gonna do, please let us know. And I don't know whether the contact details are on the website, but I can send a flyer and people can email or call
So
us.
what Dr. Marieke is saying, that if you are interested, you are a parent and you are interested and you want to be involved in this project, please feel free to contact them, or you can also call us on Radio Voice of Naija 0684 606 550, and then we can show you what to do, because we are working alongside with them.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay? Go to our website and get every information that you need. radiovoiceofnaija.org. And then if you want to be part of this project, just say or call us or text us, or just flash us, we will call you back, and then we can give you contacts of Dr. Marieke and her group. Is that okay?
Yes, for sure. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.